I am seeking the change for the next generation. Gun violence. I am tired of my peers getting killed due to gun violence, and I'm out here seeking change for us.
Relatives of 17-year-old Ariana Fountain remember the young, vibrant girl as someone who could light up a room.
I feel like Ariana was the type of kid that can just draw anybody in. Just got that really bubbly personality, doesn't really have anything against anyone, just loves everybody. She wasn't just a child that resided on Ogden Street. She was Ariana, and she had a really huge impact on anybody that knew her. She had a big heart. I just miss her. I want my Ari back. I want my Ari back.
"17-year-old Ariana Fountain was an outgoing, selfless, and caring young girl who, according to those close to her, was a light in everyone's life, always welcoming others with an open heart. She brought happiness to everyone around her. She just turned 17 in January and was a student at Grimsley High School while also singing in the choir. As she often did, Ariana was spending time with family at her home, laughing, joking, and having a good time when out of nowhere, things quickly turned left. Just before 10 p.m. on April 1st, Greensboro police were called to a home on the 1300 block of Ogden Street in the Hampton Homes community for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would find an unresponsive teenage girl on the front porch suffering from a gunshot wound.
A Greensboro family received the phone call today that all parents pray never comes. Police say a 17-year-old girl died after a shooting off Ogden Street last night.
This was the scene on Saturday night after shots rang out on Ogden Street inside Greensboro's Hampton Homes community.
We just heard pow, 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 at least more than 25 shots.
Andrea Bodley and her son live just across the street from where the shooting happened.
And I told everybody in the house to turn the lights off and jump on the floor.
The shooting claimed the life of a 17-year-old girl. Police say she and a large group of people were having a social gathering on Ogden Street when the shooting happened. Police are not sure how many shooters there were, but say they ran off after the shooting.
The victim was identified as 17-year-old Ariana Fountain, who was sadly pronounced dead after succumbing to a gunshot wound to the head. An investigation into the case revealed that Ariana was attending a family game night while standing outside with a large group of teens when an unknown number of suspects fired shots towards the group, striking Ariana on her front porch. The suspects then reportedly ran off. As her family members now lean on each other, they want justice for their loved one, whose life they say was taken much too soon. Ariana's cousin shared a list of goals that she posted on her wall. Those included getting closer to God, getting her own first car by the time she turned 18, graduating high school, and having a great year for herself and her family.
A light in everyone's life. That is how family members of 17-year-old Ariana Fountain are remembering the Grimsley High School student.
She was shot and killed outside her home on Saturday night. Ari was attending a family gathering when police say an unknown number of suspects fired shots toward the home, striking her on the front porch.
Family members say they all gathered for a game night here at Ari's home Saturday night.
We just know that everybody was outside having fun, enjoying themselves, and the next thing you know, bullets are flying, and then not even 20 seconds later, everybody's in a mass panic because they've just seen their cousin on the ground dying.
Ari's cousin, who didn't want to be identified, says Ari was more like a sister than a cousin.
That she's just loving and caring, and that she didn't deserve anything like this.
According to Greensboro police, it was just before 10 p.m. Saturday when shots were fired toward the house and a bullet struck Ari. Ari died early Sunday morning, and as the investigation into who pulled the trigger continues, Ari's family is hoping for justice.
We want to know why. We want to know where this came from, why this happened, and if justice can be served.
A private memorial service was held just days later at Grimsley High School to remember Ariyonna. Guilford County Schools released the following statement. With deep regret, we inform you about the recent loss to our school community of a student who attended Grimsley High School. We are heartbroken, and our thoughts are with the family. District crisis teams have been at the school and will be as needed throughout the week. Neighbors pleaded for something to be done to reduce the gun violence within their community, which they say comes from people who do not live in the area. They encourage neighbors or anyone with information to come forward.
Bondley's son Adam went to school with the 17-year-old victim.
It's just kind of sad because she was just there. It's kind of sad how a life could be taken that easily for no reason. It shouldn't happen.
That mother though, last night I felt it. I just felt it in my gut. It wasn't a normal cry. It was she was wailing, and that got me.
Bondley wants something done to reduce gun violence in her neighborhood. A lot of the trouble, she says, stems from people cutting through Hampton homes to access Randleman Road. She encourages her neighbors and anyone that may know something to speak up, if not to the police, then to someone else that you are comfortable confiding in.
Because people don't like to tell on people and stuff like that, but it could be your mom, your sister, anybody. So if you see something, just say something. Or if you don't want to say something, tell somebody else. That should not be happening here. It should not.
As of right now, the shooting death of 17-year-old Ariana Fountain remains unsolved. Her funeral will be held on April 18th in her hometown of Hartford, Connecticut. Just 4 days after her senseless murder, Arianas High School, Grimsley High, along with Page High School, held a student walkout as part of a nationwide movement to end gun violence, whether in schools or in their neighborhoods. The case remains ongoing.
Here in Guilford County, 2 local high schools have banded together in support of one national movement, students walking out of class in hopes to push for change. Earlier today around noon, both the student bodies at Grimsley Senior High as well as Page High participated in a student-led walkout. The organization known as Students Demand Action is the group responsible for organizing this student-led countrywide protest in reaction to the countless incidents of gun violence claiming the lives of young, promising students everywhere. Here in Greensboro, just this past Saturday, 17-year-old Grimsley student Ariana Fountain was murdered outside her home, and her recent death has left many of her classmates shaken.
It's making us angry. Gun violence is no longer this abstract concept. We're seeing it here now in our community. In the past 2 years, we've lost 2 Grimsley students due to gun violence.
Over at Page High School, the students there also wanted to make their voices heard in support of Students Demand Action.
I am seeking the change for the next generation. Gun violence, I am tired of my peers getting killed due to gun violence, and I'm out here seeking change for us.